Greetings, comrades. I hope you are okay. I am Mabuto Nicholas Mapena. Today it's the 9th of December 2025. In few days' time, workers will be closing. A number of workers from mines, industries, and other sectors of the economy will be closing, going for holidays. Already, educators are off duty. They are on their way for their annual holiday. We are talking about migrants. As you know, that as capitalism was developing, or with the discovery of gold in Johannesburg, those who claim to have discovered uh, declared Johannesburg their home, then declared the rest of us, black in particular, as migrants. Whether one is whether one is from Limpopo, at the time it was Northern Transvaal, whether one is from KZN, Eastern Cape, from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, in the eyes of those that said they discovered gold in Johannesburg, they treated us the same, that we are all migrants. We do not belong in Johannesburg. We belong elsewhere. Johannesburg is their home. That's very interesting. So as we approach the festive season, workers are going home to be with their families, while the captains of industry are going for holidays. Because workers do not go on holiday. Why? It's because when you are off duty where you are employed, you are going to your rural home to continue working. Because we are paid very little, the money we are paid is little. So during what we call holidays, we'll actually be working on our piece of land. We double as subsistence farmers because the wages that were being paid cannot sustain us. In the most of cases, we maintain two homes. That is for local migrants. You have a home in Johannesburg where you work. You have a home in Wanongoma. So we maintain two homes. For international migrants, in the most of cases, we maintain three homes. I have a home in Johannesburg. I have a home in Bulawayo, the second largest city in Zimbabwe. I have a home in my village. That's a third home. So we maintain international migrants three homes. With what? So this is why workers do not go for holidays. We are going to work, we'll be waking up in the morning, going to the fields, tilling the land until we come back. While our bosses will be resting in their beachfront holiday homes. So why then doing as workers, as migrants, both the local and the international, when we are told that we do not belong in Johannesburg? You are in Johannesburg for the purposes of providing cheap labor. Once industries shut down, as they will this coming weekend, we are expected to go back home where we belong. So I traveled to Zimbabwe, to my village in Zimbabwe. You travel to your village in the Eastern Cape, where we are said to belong. We meet again in January, where we are told we do not belong. Then we start fighting over why I'm an international migrant and why you're a local migrant. Does it make sense? We do not unite to fight those that have declared us migrants, whether local or international. No. We do not unite to fight those that have declared Johannesburg their home, not our home, but their home. Why? So it's important that we keep on raising these issues. Yes, of course, we're not blind to the issues of borders, which, by the way, were not created by us, the workers. Other people met what was called the Berlin Conference. They began to partition Africa. They said, no, Mabena, we are Mabena in Zimbabwe. Your brother Mabena in South Africa is a South African in Guamhlanga. You are Mabena in Zimbabwe is Zimbabwean. My brother is a South African. We are one family. If I have to visit my brother, I need a passport. If my brother needs to visit me, he needs a passport. They used the Limpopo River to divide the clan, the Venda clan. Other family, the young brother was across the river, the elder brother on the other side of the river. They said, you belong there, across the Limpopo on the northern side. And your brother belongs on the southern side. If you are to visit each other, you must have a passport. You can no longer just cross the river and visit your brother. Same thing in Northwest. The Botswana on the South African side, the Botswana on the Botswana side. Same thing, Basotho. Basotho is actually in South Africa. It's in South Africa. But then a border was created, even though it is inside South Africa, to say a Lesotho or a Sotho who's on this other side is South African, and on the other side is not South African. If you check the border, it's actually, I've been seeing some of these videos, Eswatini and KZN. Someone just goes through a gate. You are in Eswatini. You go through and come back using that gate, just crossing the fence. So the colonialists divided, partitioned Africa, divided families. Why did they do so? Because they wanted cheap labor. They wanted, in fact, before cheap labor, they wanted to create a territory to declare to other colonialists. The British colonialists will say, this is our territory. You have no right to dig here, to mine here. The Germans will say the same, no, this is our territory. The Belgians will say the same, and so forth and so forth. In the process, dividing us, Black people, the real owners of Africa. So when they divided, they then suddenly told us that in certain areas we do not belong. They belong, not us. They pushed us, took our land, pushed us. In the case of Zimbabwe, where there's malaria infested, the land is is Arab land, not fertile land. They pushed us away from the fertile land, rocky areas. They said we don't belong in fertile land. Then in Durban, because they wanted the harbor to transport their goods, which the goods that they've stolen in Africa, to ship them overseas. Our timber, our gold, everything, our resources. They then brought everyone and they said they don't belong. People had to build in those hilly areas, if you have been to Durban. They're to build in those hilly areas. And you know what happens when it's raining, when there are floods. Many people have lost their lives because we are attracted by the industry there, which is mainly the harbor, for us to work. So it's a holiday in the next few days, festive season. We're not going to rest, as I've already said. We're going to continue working on our piece of land because many workers, we can't afford every month to go to Pick and Pay, ShopRite, to do groceries. We need someone to bring from the village a bucket of maize meal, which will grind because we earn so little. Our kids are brought up by their elders. I mean, by their grannies. Just like ourselves, we're brought up by our grannies. We work in the cities. Our kids are in the village, brought up by their grannies. They are the next labor force. As capitalism has been developing, it is no longer only men that are in cities. You have an army of women workers working in the factories, working in the hospitality industry, working as domestic workers, working as seasonal farmers, in farms picking up fruits. So we expect that all of us, men and female, would be going on holiday. So the message is simple, that a worker has no country. That's the simple message. A worker has no country. So it's important that we must reflect as we go on holiday. We are taking a break from an industry. If you are working in a tire industry, an industry that produces tires for motor vehicles, you are said to be taking a break from there. But you are going home to wake up early at 5 to till the land. You are not on holiday. So it's important that we understand this and build this unit as workers, irrespective of nationality. That's important. We should not be fighting amongst ourselves when all of us were told that we do not belong to Durban. We do not belong to Johannesburg. We do not belong to Cape Town. We belong in rural areas, whether it's a rural area in Zimbabwe or in Eastern Cape or in Mpumalanga. That's where we're said to belong. We must unite and fight those who have declared us as migrants. Otherwise, if you are traveling, travel safely, be safe on the roads, enjoy the rest of your day, comrades. Amandla.